Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel My Time My Teacher. In this video we will talk about class 11th Sociology, chapter number 3, Understanding Social Institutions. Since you know 11th class is the beginning of sociology, so here it is better to understand all the social terms which are used in sociology. The same pattern we are going to use here in this chapter. We will try to understand the social institutions which are found in society. Without social institutions, the society is incomplete. So we can also call it like, before going to study about society, it is better to understand social institutions. First of all, family. Family is the institution where a child takes birth. The socialization of the child that starts from family. Family is the place where the child is getting familiar with other people, parents, cousins, brothers, sisters. It is also the place where the child is getting familiar with generations. His own generation, his parents' generation, and most probably the generation of grandparents. This is how the child is learning all about 3 generations at a single place. Family is the place which is going to teach the child everything about society, about social values, about social norms, about customs, about culture, about language, and so on. So first of all, we will talk about family, then some other topic. Family, what is family? Family is basically a group of people, right? How the family starts? The family starts when a person gets married. A person gets married means the person is having wife, or the lady is going to have a husband. Then the family starts, right? How they are going to have family? By marriage. If somebody has eloped with someone and giving birth to the children, that is not called the family, because the society has not given any permission to the family, to the couple, to the people. So the important thing is that when the people, they are getting married, that is the beginning of the family. You may have heard the people are calling when somebody is living alone, the invitation card comes for that person only. But when the person gets married, the invitation card comes with family. Mr. So and so with family. It means the beginning of the family is done since marriage. When the marriage has taken place, the family has started. What are the characteristics of the family? The first characteristic is mating relationship. The family becomes only when the male and female, those who got married, they start mating relationship, they start sexual relationship to give birth to the children, to give birth to the new generation, to pass on the culture and customs to the next generation. The beginning of that starts with the mating relationship. That is compulsory when the wedding ceremony takes place. Soon after that, the couple is going to enter into the mating relationship. The first characteristic of the family. The second is system of nomenclature. What is system of nomenclature? Nomenclature is the system when the family, when husband, wife, when the couple, they are giving birth to the kin of the family. We will talk about kin later in this video. What is kin? Kin means the person who is going to get the authority to run the family in next generation. That is system of nomenclature. That is only possible when we are getting a kid out of the mating relationship of the couple. The third one is economic provision. Economic provision is family is required when we need some economic provision, when we need money. Then first of all we are dependent on the family. We talk to our parents, we talk to our uncle, aunt, we talk to our grandparents, we talk to our relatives. The only possibility is whenever we need money, first of all we worry, or we can say we search for our relatives, our family members to get money from them. That is the system of economic provision. That is also the characteristic of family. If you need money, first of all you will go to your family members, and at the same time it is the responsibility of family members to fulfill your economic needs. Right? These are the three characteristics of family. Now the functions of family. What are the functions? The functions are divided into two parts. The one is essential function, the another is non-essential functions. What are the essential? Essential means सबसे जरूरी. The essential functions of a family is to give birth to the next generation, to fulfill the sexual needs of the person, to cooperate each other, to give birth to the next generation, to produce or to rear the children in the family. That is the essential need of the function, family, essential function of the family. The second is non-essential. Non-essential means which are not so much necessary. For example, economic needs. If you are not fulfilling the economic needs of the family members, they may go somewhere else. They may ask for money from someone else, but it is not possible if you are talking about the birth of the child. We cannot go to some other family asking for a child. So non-essential functions are teaching values or providing economic needs. That are non-essential functions of a family, right? Next is classification. Classification of families. The families are classified into three types. The one is nuclear, joint, extended. Nuclear family, joint family and extended family. What is nuclear family? During the British period, Raja Ravi Verma, a very popular painter of South India, he was the first one to paint the picture of a nuclear family. It was the first time when he painted the picture. It was quite controversial for the people. The people debated a lot, but ultimately we got nuclear family in reality. Nuclear family is the family where we have mother, father and unmarried children only. What? We have parents plus their unmarried children. Unmarried, till then they are going to get. It means basically we can call it, we are having only two generations. In nuclear family we have only two generations. Me, my brother, sisters, those are unmarried, and my mother and my father. that is called nuclear family, the smallest type of family. After that we are having joint family. Joint family is where we have grandparents plus parents plus children. 1, 2, 3. If we have three generations, in a single family, that is called joint family. Myself, my parents and my grandparents, right? Three generations are there, then it is called joint family. Extended family, that is bigger than all these both. We have three generations or more. In that we have cousins, uncle, aunts. When these all are living together, that is called extended family. Not only my brother, sister, but my father's brother, sisters are also living. My grandfather's brother, sisters are also living in that all. The whole family is called an extended family. Earlier, we were living with extended families. Then we came to joint families. And right now, most of the families are nuclear families. Right? As you saw that we divided the families on the basis of their size in nuclear, joint and extended families. Now, if you want to talk about the residence, then on the basis of residence, the families are divided into two types. The one is patrilocal, the another is matrilocal. The words are almost same, so sometimes they create confusion in the mind of the student that what is patrilocal, what is matrilocal. To sort out the problem, I have an idea which I want to share with you. See, patri starts with P and matri starts with M. M for mummy, right? M for mother. P for papa. The way how we can just make it easy to understand that what is patrilocal families and what is matrilocal families. Patrilocal means papa. Papa means if the family is living in the house of papa, or if my papa started to living with his own house, with his own family after the marriage, that is called patrilocal. If my papa started to live with mama's house, mama's family after marriage, that is called matrilocal families. Clear? Very easy. Patrilocal, matrilocal. Patri, P for papa. If mummy, papa, they both shifted with papa's house, patrilocal. Matrilocal, if mummy, papa, they both shifted with mama's house, mama's family, that is called matrilocal family. Easy? Now next is size. I have already told you, nuclear, joint and all. Now ancestors. On the basis of ancestors, we are having the same type, patrilineal and matrilineal. The same words as we have here. Patrilocal, I told you, living with papa's house. Matrilocal, living with mom's house. The same is patrilineal, matrilineal. If our ancestors, they belong to papa's family, patrilineal we are. If they belong to mama's family, then we are matrilineal family. Right? That is about the description on the basis of ancestors. Now we are coming on the basis of chronology. That how the families are divided on the basis of chronology. Chronology, we have three types of families: ancient families, medieval families, and modern families. Chronology on the basis of time. And when we talk about the basis of time, we come to know that we had ancient families, those who are getting the traditions from their ancient times, the same format we are following till now, ancient. Medieval families, when we just broke the family shifted from here to there due to some reason. Modern families, nowadays current families with no tradition, no customs, no culture, and nuclear families. There, that is the basis of chronology. Now is social ecology. If we divide the families on the basis of social ecology, we get two types of families. Number one, urban families, and number two, rural families. Urban, you know, the families which are living in cities are called urban families. The families which are living in rural areas, in villages, are called rural families. Clear? Any problem till here? If there is any problem, you can ask in comments. Once again, social ecology, the families which are living in urban areas and the families which are living in rural areas. Very simple classification of the families. Now the next is disintegration of joint families. As I told you, right now we are having most of the families are nuclear families. So why the joint families they broke into nuclear families? That is the question. The first reason was industrialization, communication, lifestyle, I have written here 5 reasons that why the joint families they broke into nuclear families. See, the biggest reason of disintegration of joint families was industrialization. When industrialization happened, the people started to migrate from villages to urban areas to industries in search of job opportunities. That was the biggest reason why the people they left the villages and went towards cities. Next reason is communication. The people also thought that the technology came and that started to make the communication easier between two people and two places. So it was also a reason of joint family breaking. When the people of the family they were living at two distant places, they could easily talk, easily communicate. So that's why the people they were not feeling any kind of distance in between. The reason why the people they left from one place to another. Third is lifestyle. The lifestyle of cities is quite different from the lifestyle of villages. The people when they were living in the villages, they were having normal lifestyle. If they were moving towards the industries, cities, then the lifestyle got completely changed. And it was not possible for the people to go back to the villages and to adopt the same old lifestyle, because they got habitual in the new lifestyle, so they couldn't move out of the cities after that. If they were moving or they had to move, they were moving towards cities only, not towards villages. Work opportunities. Since the agricultural land was getting lesser and lesser year by year in the villages, the family was extending, the land was not. So the division of the land, when it was done, they were getting small pieces of land. And out of the small pieces of land, it was not possible for the family of the farmer or family of 4 or 5 people to survive there with the same piece of land. So they decided to leave the village and move out of it in search of job, in search of opportunities to grow and to live, survive happily. The next is infrastructure. When the people, they moved toward the cities, they also brought their family, their children to cities. The reason was only one, that because they were getting infrastructure in the cities, the facility of roads, facility of transport, facility of hospitals, facility of education, facility of growth, that was only possible in urban areas. So they decided to live there, not going back to the villages, because the cities, they were giving them everything, whatever they were looking for. The hope for the brighter future, that was only available with the urban areas, not with the rural areas. That was the reason why they were not ready to leave the urban areas. Right? Now we are coming to marriage. Our next topic is marriage. That is of 2 types. Monogamy polygamy. The marriage, that is divided into 2 parts, monogamy and polygamy. First of all, what is marriage? Marriage is also a social institution which takes place, which happens when the 2 opposite genders are getting married, are getting united in the presence of society. 2 members of 2 different opposite sex, a male and female, when they both are getting united in the presence of society, that is called marriage. That how the people, they are getting married and they are taking an oath to be a responsible citizen of the society, as well as to give birth to the new generations, new children. Now the forms of marriage. We are having 2, monogamy and polygamy. Monogamy means one spouse. If you talk about the male or female, does not matter, but one person can have one spouse only at a time. That is called monogamy. Mono means single. One spouse means monogamy. But if they were having more spouses, more than one, that is called polygamy. More than one means they can have more wives, they can have more husbands. That is called polygamy. Polygamy is further divided into 2 parts. The first is polygamy, G-A-N-Y. Second is polyandry. Polygamy means when husband is one husband and many wives. Polyandry, one wife and many husbands. Once again, just pay your attention. Polygamy is divided into 2 parts. What is polygamy? When they are having more than one spouse, that is called polygamy. Divided in 2 parts, polygamy and polyandry. Polygamy, one husband, many wives. Polyandry, opposite to that, one wife is having many husbands, that is called polyandry. Right? Clear? Just have a look at that very minutely. You can see polygamy and polygamy, they are both very similar words. So you see polygamy, last it comes M. M means you can think marriage. M for marriage means many marriages. Gani and opposite one, that is of for husband and wife, not for this. So that is how to differentiate that, right? Now we are coming to the next topic. The next topic is kinship. What is kinship? Kinship is basically varis. Varis you call it. You call it the person who is going to take care of the family, the person who is going to get the property of the family. That is called kin, right? How do we get kin? Kin either we are getting after the reproduction, when husband and wife they are getting sexual relations, giving birth to the child. The child born out of their relationship is called reproduction, and that is the kin. The next one is blood relation. If they don't have their own child due to some biological problem or some other reason, then the closest blood relation, that will be the kin of their property, their family. Next one is the legal heir. If they are adopting somebody legally, that person is also called the kin of the family, right? Or if that is also not possible, the number 4 we have the close relationship. Somebody like the family does not have any child of their own, they do not have any blood related person, they have not adopted anyone, then the property, the heir, that will be the very close relationship they are having. Maybe the person belong to any caste, any religion, anything, but the one who is very close to them will be the kin of their family, right? That is kinship. This is the system which is required to take the social responsibilities after the death of someone, right? Clear? Today we talked about family, disintegration, marriage and kinship in this video. The rest parts of this chapter that are given in another video. So please watch that also to complete the chapter. Hope you got this all. Thank you very much.